So, good day everyone. I'm here to discuss my topic all about moral character, social dimension of a person, and reading entitled Be Proud You Are Human. So, first, let us identify the word moral. Moral is concerned with the principles of right and wrong behavior and or the goodness and badness of a human character. This is according to Merriam-Webster on 2017. So, morals are the prevailing standards of behavior that enable people to live cooperatively in groups. Moral refers to what society sanctions as right and acceptable. Most people tend to act morally and follow societal guidelines. An example of moral is commandment, like for example, thou shalt not to kill, slow and steady wins the race, teaching or exhibiting goodness or correctness of character and behavior. So next is the character. Character defined as mental and moral qualities distinct to an individual, according to Merriam-Webster 2017. In other words, your character determines what kind of person you are and what types of relationship you from in life. It is both how you see yourself and how others perceive you. Your character determines how you value, treat, and build trust with others. We use our character every day to make even the smallest decisions. When a person falls short to the expectation, he is said to be have a bad character. On the other hand, a person who lives up to the ideas of his humanity is said to have a good character or moral integrity. Character is not the product of moments, inspirations, but a disciplined tendency to choose the right thing in any given circumstances. It is adherence to what is true, beautiful, and good in us. History countment of great character who acted against the above the prevailing beliefs and practices of their day, like Jesus Christ, Sakyamuni, or Buddha, Confucius, Martin Luther King, Jose Rizal, Ninoy Aquino, Pope John Paul II, and many more. So next is to define the moral character. Moral character perhaps best described as the totality of a person's disposition or characteristics. This be conceptualized as an individual's disposition to think, feel, and behave in an ethical versus unethical manner, or as the subset of individual differences relevant to morality that play a role on how a person's morally speaking behaves. To put in other way, to have a particular moral character is to have or to lack certain virtues and vices of character, such as integrity, courage, fortitude, honesty, and loyalty. Next is moral character as disposition. Moral characters are those dispositions or the tendency to act or think in a particular way which person can be held morally responsible. Thus, moral character traits are rational, informed, stable, and reliable dispositions. Moral character traits are relatively stable and reliable disposition and thus should be reasonably good predictors over time of an agent behavior if that agent is in a trade relevant situation. This does not mean, however, that such traits must be exceptionless. Like, for example, a single case of dishonesty did not mean that an individual lacks a generally honest character. Next, let's talk about the social dimension of a person. So, what is social dimension? Social dimension concern for the values, norms, rules, and rules. One of the greatest sources of influence on human behavior, emanating from the cultural dimension. It consists of the capacity of the society to implement practices to ensure the respect to human rights, diversity, cultural traditions, and the rights of communities in order to decrease the gap between the rich and the poor and social justice. So next is there are 7 social dimensions of a person, specifically a man, which is physical, intellectual, moral, spiritual, social, economic, and political. So first, let's talk about the physical. Being physical, made of matter, he must maintain health and harmony with nature. Physical health and harmony with nature, especially holistic health, cleanliness, physical fitness, reverence and respect for life, and environmental care. So next is the intellectual. Being intellectual or gifted with mind, the faculty of knowing, he must constantly search for the truth. He seeks knowledge that would transform society and the world. Intellectual truth and tolerance, like love of truth, critical thinking, creativity, openness and respect for others, future orientation, and scientific orientation. So next is the moral. Being moral or endowed with the faculty of freely choosing and loving, he must go out to others and in fact to all humanity in love. Moral love and goodness like self-worth or self-esteem, goodness, honesty and integrity, personal discipline, courage, trust, compassion or caring and sharing. Spiritual. Being spiritual or capable of higher concerns and of rising above the material, he must cultivate a global spiritual which essentially connects him with God and the whole earth community. Spiritual, global, spiritually, example is faith in God, inner peace, religious tolerance, and unity of all. So next is social. Being social or living in a community, he must help or build peace and justice in our society through the pursuit of family solidarity as well as the common good and well-being of the larger society. He must also cultivate respect for human rights and active non-violence. Social like family, peace and justice, respect and love of one's family, family solidarity, responsible parenthood, social like respect for human rights, concern for common good, cooperation to the society, social responsibility and accountability, creative goodwill, fairness, appreciation of diversity, and active nonviolence. So next is the economic. Being economic or bound to concerns of productions and consumptions, he must help achieve or more human and sustainable development for the community. Economic, sustainable, and human development like balance between economic and social development, protection of the environment, wise use of resources, productivity and quality, economic equity, work ethic, and entrepreneurial spirit. And last is the political. Being political or relating to the conduct of political affairs within the nation and the world, he must cultivate his sense of nationalism and globalism. For the former, love of a country and national unity are foremost concerns, while the latter, global solidarity and peace, are the fundamental goals. Political like nationalism, love of country, heroism and appreciation of heroes, democracy, freedom and responsibility, civic consciousness and active participation, committed leadership, national unity, globalism, international understanding and solidarity, appreciation of world, heritage, cultural freedom, global peace and interdependence. So next is my reflection about the reading text entitled Be Proud You Are Human by William Rees. I am proud indeed that I am one of so-called human, human that created by God's, human gets sense of direction, a goal to work toward which no other species can be. I should do good deeds so that others will do good deeds to me. I should proud that I was born, that I am a human. I should live my life to the fullest. No one can dictate what I should do or what will I do. Just only myself say what I should do. From this article, I see 5 achievements of the author that says we should be proud as a human beings. As human, we should be proud that we are one of them. First, humans found the light when we know who is God into our life, cause with Him we got sense of direction and a goal to work toward Him. God is the light where He give us light. In our darkest part of our lives, God is always with us, giving us light and hope to solve and face our problems. We should live our life to the God's will. Second, humans wake up gay little songs and whistle them, and our feet keep jig time to them, with silence and mystery behind humans and head of humans. Humans look life and fate through our eyes. As human, we should look to our environment and criticize and improve what we should need to improve for. Next, humans find necessary to live together by the millions. We are created to live with others, not just for yourself alone. Don't be selfish because God created us to be with others. Think about others, the ideal of justice, plan it for all men. We need to be fair all the times because we know that we should do it. Humans are born to be fair to others. After that, humans should find for their work to stay alive. We should work with our ability to lessen our concerns. We should work so that we'll gain money for our needs. We should work so that our bodies become more stronger. We should work for our family and for our personal needs. We should work beyond our imagination. With our world, we take food and drink water. We need to work for it, for its improvement, and with that we can have another product to use for. And lastly, humans find ways to move easily underwater and through the air. With our eyes and ears, we should look for it. We should learn how to move underwater and breathe through air. How shall we do not admire such a great creature of God? How will you not be proud that you are one of it? How can you say something about them if you are one of them? How did you think about others, not checking yourself first? But you know what? I am wondering how grateful I am that as I was born as a human. I am proud to be a human. So I'll act as a human, not an animal who didn't think before my action. So that's all for today and thank you for listening.